You found this video at the perfect time because it's now more than ever important to listen to this message. We need to protect our masculinity. This is genuinely something that is being stripped off of men and is being demonized, and you're literally being made fun of for trying to have traditional masculine values, for trying to be a good man, for trying to follow your word, follow your instinct, follow your mind, follow your sense of self, and follow what you think is right and just, which you know is right and just. That is now being ostracized by the fucking society. If you're someone who tries to be a good man, who tries to be respectable, who tries to build himself, I can tell you, at least from my experience, you will get laughed at by your friends. You'll get laughed at by your teachers. You'll get laughed at by your work colleagues. That's just how it goes nowadays. For trying to be someone who is a man of his word. For trying to be someone who tries to go from skinny to building muscle. I can tell you, when I started going to the gym just 2.5 years ago, I wasn't always looking the way I do, where I have big arms, where I have my dream physique, where I have a six-pack, where I have good-looking shoulders. That didn't always, that wasn't always my reality. That wasn't always there. I was skinny, really skinny. I was made fun of by people constantly. I was ridiculed for being so skinny, for not being able to hold my own, for not being able to just have respect. And then eventually I tried to better myself because some people told me, oh, just eat more, just eat more, just eat more. And so I fucking tried. And then people saw that and they saw me trying. They saw me trying to better myself. And they laughed at me because they're like, oh, what are you doing? You're just a skinny guy. You'll never be looking like these influencers do. You'll never be in shape. You'll never be, in good form. I was like, why not? And then I was thinking, wait, am I really never going to be that? Why are they saying that? Is there some truth to it? They must know, right? Everyone is saying that. It's not just one guy saying that. Everyone was saying that. Everyone I had respect to, everyone I was looking up to told me I couldn't make it. And I'm just supposed to not be a man. I was just supposed to stay a boy. Just stay a wimp. But I didn't accept that reality. I didn't want to believe that this has to be how my life will be. Because why would I settle for that? So I said, let me just try. And I went through all this fucking pain of being ostracized, being fucking more or less an outcast from my friend group. They were making WhatsApp stickers of me. Oh yeah, him trying to work out, his first bicep flex. You could barely see any biceps. Fucking doing WhatsApp stickers, sending that into group chats, laughing about me, clowning me. I could have stopped then and there and been like, oh no, it's cringe. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. It was embarrassing. It was genuinely super embarrassing. I was like, what am I gonna do with this? I felt horrible. But I wanted to be a masculine man. I had this drive inside of me because I saw other people, and mostly people on the internet, because it's so rare to see a traditional father figure or a traditional masculine man nowadays. It's hard to find that. And so I found that in some people online. And I was like, I want to be like them. Because they're the same gender as me. So why can't I be like them? Why are we, even though we're literally the same species, we're both human, and we're the same gender, why are we like night and day? Why are we so different? Why do I have nothing, literally nothing, in common with the guys that I was looking up to. The only thing I had in common with them was that I was breathing the same air as them. And I had the same gender as them. Those were the only two things I had in common with them. Because they were men and I was not. I was not. And my entire life, people called me, oh, he's just a boy. Oh, it's that boy over there. Oh, it's that kid over there. But as soon as I made that change, people started now actually calling me a man. But it wasn't like that. And that wasn't a thing of, oh, let me make that one switch and then it'll all be good and it'll just be a smooth process and I'll get into this and I'll start bettering myself and then in 2 months I'm the best version and everyone has respect for me. No, it was quite the opposite. I had to go through at least 9 months to 15 months of me being completely alone on this journey, because not only could I not share time with my previous friends anymore because they weren't doing the habits that I was doing now, so we had nothing in common anymore, that I couldn't even share time with them because they made me be an outcast. They didn't want to spend time with me anymore because they thought what I'm doing is cringe. Bettering myself is cringe? Leaving me for trying to become better? Tell me, oh, I can't be seen with you. No. What? You can't be seen with me? And I genuinely feel bad for these people that said these things back in the days. Because it's not that they had ill intentions. I genuinely don't think so. No, I genuinely know that they've just been so brainwashed by the media, by society, into acting this way because they don't know any better. There's this $1 billion propaganda that makes it impossible for men to think for themselves. That's why we got the school system. There's literally a quote from some of the founders of the school system. And he said, I'm not in the business of creating a generation of thinkers. I'm in the business of creating a generation of workers. That's what the school system is for. It's not to make you have your own thoughts. It's not to make you be able to think for yourself. Critical thinking. No, it's not that. It's literally to strip that away from you. To make a man more like a woman and to make a woman more like a man. To push masculinity in females and to push and to go against masculinity in men, because if a man is truly masculine, it's called toxic masculinity. And that's harmful. And that's somehow oppressive. And that's somehow dangerous. I tell you what, a traditional masculine man is the best thing this society could ever have. Because a traditional masculine man doesn't harm anyone. He doesn't fight someone. He doesn't seek revenge. He isn't prideful. That's a man of honor. That's a man that keeps his word. That's a man that strives to be the best version of himself. That's a man that takes care of other people, that protects people. That's a man who tries to live a healthy life. That's a man who's active. That's a man who works on his business. That's a man who looks after other people. That's a man who's helpful to society. But they call it bad and they call it evil. You and me right now, we have one common enemy. Genuinely, we can call it an enemy because it is an enemy. There is clearly some propaganda out there that tries to, with it, all the power it has, to strip that away from you. But I'm here to tell you, do not ever fall for the lies of the system. That is the best thing you can ever do. But that's how you take control of your own life. And they don't want that because they don't want you to think. They want you to be easily manipulated and controlled. And they've already controlled the entire masses. And that's why your friends are clowning you if you try. And that's why you're not willing to try in the first place, because you're afraid what happens if you try. But I'm here to tell you that you need to take that leap. You need to be willing to be clowned and ostracized. Because what's the alternative? Stay in that same bullshit even though you're someone who knows more. We can't even be mad at your friends. We can't. I can't be mad at my previous friends. I cannot. Because they don't know any better. But you do. You see through the lies. You see through the perception. You see through the propaganda. You understand. Which is a rare gift. Not a lot of people do. That's why you got this video recommended. Your other friends didn't get this video shown up for them. They don't. It doesn't show up for them. Because my content is all about this. Their For You page is full of, I don't know, hot girls dancing. That's what they see. Why is it that you have a For You page full of motivational speakers? Full of gym tips? Why is that? Why? Ask yourself why you're so different than all these other people. Because I can tell you, when I look at my friends, still friends, some friends that I have now to this day, when I scroll on Instagram, I only see men. I see men in the gym. I see motivational speakers. I see people who teach me business. I see people who I learn from. But when I see what my friends get when they scroll, it's a woman. Oh, it's a woman in a bikini. Oh, it's another woman. Oh, it's a girl dancing. How are we so fundamentally different? We have nothing in common. Your interests is bullshit, is garbage, is the programming. And you're so far gone that you don't even notice. But you do. You do. And that's so valuable. Do not ever, promise me this right now, promise yourself this right now, do not ever let someone take that away from you. Do not ever fall for the lies of the system, because now you know too much. You cannot ever go back to just living a normal life. You know too much. You know too much. You cannot go back. So what you need to do is take that step and start to go to the gym. Because that's the first thing. That's the first thing you need to do. Build a business. Yes, absolutely fantastic. Do it. Cool. But the number one thing that's going to have the greatest return on invest on you is becoming mentally and physically strong. And that's not by building a business. That's step number 10. Do step number 1 first. Step number 1 is becoming more of a better and bigger person. And you do that by improving your physical strength. And you do that the best by either starting to go to the gym or doing calisthenics. But you need some sort of physical exercise in your life right now. Every man needs that. The best would be if you actually do strength training. Fantastic is also if you do some sort of martial arts. For my case, I do both. I go to the gym 3 times a week. and I go boxing once or twice a week. Right now I'm in Bali, so I'm not doing boxing, I'm doing Muay Thai right now. So I'm active. I am actively bettering myself, becoming more physically strong and large, taking up more space. My shoulders are getting wider, intuitively, instinctively. People associate that, my V-taper frame, my wide shoulders, with a masculine man, with someone who's worthy of respect. People see me and they see I'm shredded, I'm low body fat percentage, I have abs without even flexing. They see that. And they instantly know I'm someone who holds his word, who sticks to what he tells himself, who is worthy of respect. Because how could I not be? If I'm fat, I'm not worthy of respect. If I'm skinny, I'm not worthy of respect. And why? Because I don't respect myself. Because you can't tell me that any skinny guy, you right now, if you're skinny, you can't tell me that you have never told yourself that you're going to change. You have. Everyone has. I know how I did, but I didn't stick to it. And that's why I was still skinny. But now I stick to my word. Now I actually do the hard things even when I don't feel like it. You think I feel like going to the gym every single day? I don't go to the gym every single day, but every single day that I train. You think every time I'm motivated? Every time I want to? I've been training for 2.5 years. You think it's always a good time? No. Sometimes I'm busy. Sometimes I'm not motivated. Sometimes I feel bad. Sometimes I've had a shit day. Sometimes I'm too stressed. Sometimes I'm just not in the right headspace. Sometimes I got a lot of different things that I should be doing, but I still go. I'll still go. I'll still manage to find the time. And people see that. They don't consciously think that, oh yeah, this guy, he does all these things that I just listed. They don't consciously think that, but subconsciously, and that's really powerful. Subconsciously, so many things go on. Your brain processes so many subconscious thoughts every single second. You wouldn't even know. So it's not all about, the conscious signals that you send out by, he looks good, because that's the conscious signal that you get. But subconsciously is, he's worthy of respect. He's probably a good business partner. This guy, he holds his word. You don't have that from a skinny person. Me back then, when I was just a skinny, I'm not even going to say man, I'm just going to say a boy. When I was a skinny boy, I didn't get opportunities. I was never lucky. I never had anything good come my way. Now, I'm extremely lucky. Genuinely, I'm one of the most lucky people on earth. I am. And why? Because I'm 100% convinced that I am absolutely one of God's favorites. And why is that? Because I don't fall for the lies of the system, and I still try to live by the gospel and what Jesus has taught us. And that clearly reflects being a good man and not being easily manipulated by the lies of some system. And that's how you get lucky in life. That's how you really get lucky, is by doing hard work. Because sometimes you genuinely get lucky. You do. But if you don't do hard work, no luck is going to come to you. Because it's not about, the chance. No, it's about you are deserving of luck. If you're not deserving of it, it's not going to come to you. Back then, I wasn't deserving of luck. Now, this might be a completely new angle to this, and you've probably never thought or heard of this. But I genuinely believe this is true, and I have my entire life experience to back this up. So, if you disagree, then still listen, because this is absolutely true. You are not going to be lucky if you're not deserving of luck. I was never deserving of luck. That's why I never had any luck. I never won anything. I never got anything good happen to me. I never attracted anything good into my life. And why? Because I was not deserving of luck. And that is because I was not doing hard things. And you're only deserving of luck if you actually decide not to always indulge in the instant gratification, in the easy things. Not always take the easy way out. Not skip the things you know you should be doing. Actually hold your word for once, even though something is hard. Be an honest person, not be a liar. If you do these things, you will see how incredibly lucky you start to become. It's genuinely crazy. I would have never guessed that this is actually the key to being lucky, the key to living a better life. But it is, at the end of the day, all boiled up into you just being a masculine man, because masculinity is more or less the definition of all of those things that I just listed. If you don't snake people, if you don't talk bad about behind people's backs, if you don't concern yourself with the next celebrity gossip, if all you want to do is work on your business, on your physique, on your mental, meditate, maybe do some breath work, pray to God, study the Bible, seek great life experiences, and when some bad things come your way, which will inevitably come your way, you don't say, all right, fuck it, let me go now party and drink to make me feel better. Let me go take some drugs. Let me go smoke some weed. No. If you actually then, at these moments where you're really being tested, if you are deserving of the luck that you're about to attract, if you then hold strong, stay in your frame, and keep doing what you told yourself you were gonna do, that is then when you attract the luck. That's the exact formula that you need to be following. That's the exact formula I started to follow, which I never have before. And now I do. Every day. If I tell myself I'm going to do something, I do it. And that's why I'm living this absolutely fantastic life. I'm right now in Bali. I'm in a villa that I don't have to pay for. I was invited into this villa. All I have to do is post content here. Do you see the life that is out there? It's for you to grab. You don't have to be in your miserable position in your shit job with coworkers that are clowning you for trying to improve yourself, with friends that don't even like you, with a family that doesn't believe in you. You don't have to be in that situation. You can change. You are allowed to change. Let me tell you that. You are the master of yourself. You're the only one who's allowed to change your situation right now. You don't have to wait for someone to give you the allowance that you can. You don't have to wait for some permission. You can say right now, all right, this is it. I'm not going to stick with this anymore. You can decide to build a business online and then fucking travel the world like I'm doing. Be here on a random Friday, the 10th of October at 9:19 p.m. in Bali, in Ubud, in a villa that you don't have to pay for, working on your business, inspiring other men to become better. You could do that. You don't have to do what I do. But you see that it is possible to live such a different life. And it's out there for you to just stretch your hand out and take it. There's enough money in this world. There's enough space in the world, in the gyms, for you to get in shape. You're not taking anything away from someone. You're not stealing from someone. There's enough. The world is a place full of abundance. But you're living in scarcity. Why? Why? If it's literally that simple as for you to say, I don't want this anymore, let me change. That's all you have to do. And then stick to your word day after day. And not go back into your old habits. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. You can get in shape. It doesn't take long. It took me 2 years to be shredded with all the mistakes that I did. 2 years. You can literally do it in a year if you have the proper guidance, if you know what you're doing. You can go from skinny to shredded in 1 year. You'll go to the gym, in 3 months later, you'll have the first fucking bicep vein. You'll have the first sick pump feeling. You'll have the first time when you look in the mirror and you see yourself shirtless and you're like, yo, I see some muscles there for the first time in my life. You can do that. Let me share with you right now how I train, because I want to save you a lot of time, because I wasted so much time doing 6 days a week going to the gym and doing the Arnold split, spending 2 hours per session in the gym. I wasted so much time and left so many gains on the table. So let me just give you that before I leave you alone with this message. So what you're going to do to get in shape the quickest way possible, which is the number one thing that you need to start doing right now to improve your life. You will first get in shape, then you will improve all other areas of your life, all right? Promise me that, because it's the number one thing, and it's what every man should be starting with. It's what I started with, and I'm so glad I did. Okay, so you're gonna go to the gym 3 days a week. You're only ever gonna train for 1 to 1 hour and maybe 15 minutes per session. On your first session, you're gonna train your upper body. On your second session, you're gonna train your lower body. And on your third session, you're going to train your entire body. So it's a full body on the third session and the final session of the week. Now, for everything, you're going to do one warm-up set. For every single exercise that you do, perform one light warm-up set to just get the blood into your muscle. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do 2 working sets, where you aim to get somewhere between 4 to 6 repetitions. If you are able to do 8 repetitions, then that is your key to go up in the weight again and go somewhere between the 4 and 6 rep range. Everyone has told you so far, like so many times, it's still a myth in the fitness industry, still there, designed to keep you small, by the way. It's also propaganda, and it's also a psyop, because people literally don't know any better, but there are people that know and that still propagate that. But I'm here to tell you don't need to waste your time on doing 8 to 12 repetitions per exercise and doing so much volume where you do 4 sets per exercise. You don't need to do that. It's a waste of time, and it's ultimately gonna get you less gains because it's gonna fatigue your muscles more. All right, so the optimal thing with the science and everything, because I autistically studied this, is going to the gym 3 times a week, doing exactly what I told you, with upper, then lower, and then full body. Through that, you hit your entire body twice per week, and that allows for optimal growth. Okay, good. Then you do your one warm-up set to get the blood flowing into your muscles. And now, because you're training in a rep range of 4 to 6 repetitions until you get to your failure until you get to failure, that is why you did that warm-up set, because you are training with heavy weight. If you're doing the weight where you can only perform 6 reps, that's heavy. If you're using a weight where you can do 12 reps, that's obviously going to be way lighter. Do you follow what I'm saying? So, for that reason, you need a warm-up set. But that still saves you a lot of time. Alright? It's the most time efficient and it's the least fatiguing. And fitness is all about not just the optimal training, it's also about the optimal recovery. And let me give you the number one advice on how to recover properly. And it's not going to be have optimal sleep. Yes, that's a non-negotiable. You need to have optimal sleep. Sure, get that. But the number one advice on how to have optimal recovery is by not causing unnecessary fatigue in the first place. I'm going to say it again. The best way to have optimal recovery is by not causing your body unnecessary fatigue in the first place. I bet that changed something in your head right now, didn't it? Because it changed something in mine when I heard that. There's no reason to be doing these high volume workout splits. They're wasting your time and they're leaving gains on the table. In that time that you can save, you could be out here just like I am, working on your business, working on your relationships, working on your social skills, working on your ability to become a better communicator, working on maybe a different skill, maybe working on, if you want to become an artist, then painting. If you want to learn a new language, then a new language. It doesn't matter what you want to do. If you want to learn a martial art, then you could be doing a martial art in that time. You don't have to spend 2 hours every single day in the gym like I used to do. You don't have to. And I'm now making more gains than I was back then. That's why I'm saying, with the proper guidance and actually knowing what you need to do, you can cut the time that it takes you to get in shape. You can cut the time that it took me to get in shape in half. Because I was wasting my time effectively. If I knew what I know now, I would be in the same position, not in 2.5 years, close to 3 years now. I'd be there in 1.5 years. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. So if you're someone who wants some proper guidance, who wants to learn not just fitness but also biohacking, to get not just your body right, but also your mental, how you feel, how you wake up in the morning, energized or tired. If you can be at 3 p.m., still be energized, as if you just fucking woke up. But that doesn't even apply to you, because if you wake up, you're not even energized. You don't even want to get up. You press the snooze button. But I don't. I'm energized during the entire day. I'm there. I'm present in every moment. I cured my chronic brain fog. I can sit here for 34 minutes now. 34 minutes and just speak. No edits, no cuts, no nothing needed. No text on the screen, no music, no fancy images, no animations like all these business influencers or all these other guys in my niche. Because they have no clue what they're talking about. They don't know what they do. That's why they need the fancy editing. I can speak on what I have to speak because I genuinely know what I have to say. I genuinely know about my topic because I studied this autistically. Anyways, if that is something that you want for yourself as well, then you can check the first link down in the video description. to book a free one-to-one call with me to see if you'd be a good fit for my personal one-to-one fitness coaching and biohacking coaching called the Limitless Blueprint, where I get the most amazing results for my clients, as you can see maybe here and here. And if you look here, there's a client of mine, and he made that progress in just 5 weeks of being on the program. Yeah. So if that's something that interests you, make sure to check that out. You know where to find it now. And also you can DM me on Instagram at any time. It's also linked in the description. It's the second link down in the description. If you have any questions, do feel free to ask me. I reply to every single person that messages me. I take care of all my YouTube comments. I take care of all my Instagram comments. That is what I do because I genuinely care about you and I want the best for you. That's why I'm sitting here, even though I could be sitting inside and watching Netflix like all these other guys are doing, all my friends are doing right now. I'd rather spend my time like this, genuinely. So, if that's something you're interested in, you know where to find it. And I'm going to end this video with the same words as usual. Don't compare, be compared to. I love you, and I see you in the next one. Promise me to act now.